ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरिः ओं तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. So, welcome back to the study of the first chapter of Bhagavad-gita. We are starting from verse number 20 today. It will be good if everybody can come in Vaishnava attire. Bhakti Shastri students are expected to be in Vaishnava attire, both Prabhujis and Matajis. And even in Vaishnava attire, especially for Prabhujis, I mean, this is not a rule in ISKCON, but I would like to present this to Prabhujis that there are only two colors in life. One is white and one is saffron. You decide which one you want. There's blue, green, pink. Others will follow you.
We already purchased.
At least for Bhakti Shastri, be in saffron or white. Saffron, if you want to take, then it has to be up and down both saffron. I'll be very happy if you take. But if you don't want to take, then wear white. So, we are reading verse number 20, where Arjuna, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur calls this chapter as, or rather Baldev Vidyabhushan calls this chapter as Sainya Darshan. So, now the Sainya Darshan, Arjuna's Sainya Darshan is about to begin. And in verse number 20, basically Arjuna picks up the bow and starts talking. अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शास्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् idam aha mahipate. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra, drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Purport, please.
The battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instruction of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory, because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Rama is, his eternal servitor, Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle. In such auspicious conditions, arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee, lay the signs of assured victory.
Dhartarashtran Drishtva Dhartarashtran Kapidhvajaha. Kapidhvaja means the dhvaja on which Kapi is there, and which Kapi is there? This is the Hanuman. Dhanur Udyamya Pandavaha. He has taken up Dhanush in his hand and he's talking to Rishikesh. Tada Vakyam. Aha Mahipate. Mahipate means, O king. So Lord Krishna is moving everybody's senses. He is moving the senses of his devotees. He is the controller of senses of his devotees. Specifically, given the fact that Arjuna is going to think something and he is with Rishikesha, so he will think obviously the perfect thing only that is being highlighted, or that is being indirectly highlighted. So therefore, Prabhupada says this all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle. This, in such auspicious conditions, arranged by the Lord for his personal eternal devotee, lays the signs of assured victory. So, another important point to note here is wherever there is Krishna, the goddess of fortune will always be there. And the devotees of Lord are also there, such as Hanuman. So, whom one should run behind? One should run behind Hanuman, or one should run behind Mother Lakshmi, or one should run behind Lord Krishna. But is the world doing this? Yesterday was some festival. Everybody is only running behind Lakshmi. Nobody wants to run behind Lord Krishna. So if you somehow please Krishna, then devotees like Hanuman and Goddess of Fortune will be there with you automatically. But if you do the opposite, then you'll end up like the Dhartarashtras, now the sons of Dhritarashtra. Just 1 minute. Okay, we'll read verse number 21 and 22. अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थाप्य मे अच्युत यावादेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणासमुद्यमे. Arjuna said, O infallible one, that is Achyuta, please draw my chariot, it is Ratham. Please draw my chariot between the two armies, so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Purport, please.
Although Lord Krishna Although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible.
So, this is the reason why the Lord, primarily, this is the main reason why the Lord is called Achyuta. Why is he called Achyuta? He never fails in his affection for his devotees. Thus, he is addressed herein as infallible.
As charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotees, his supreme position was not challenged. In all circumstances, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, Rishikesh, the Lord of the total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some services to the devotee. He takes greater pleasure in his pure devotees assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders. Since he is master, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is the infallible master in all circumstances. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjun had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come onto the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading persons present on the battlefield were. Although there was no question of a peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war.
Some important points from the purport. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord. And similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render service to the devotee. As pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come due to the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable for any peaceful negotiation. So, here we want to discuss this word Achyuta. The innate nature of Achyuta is that he is always Bhaktavatsal. He has innumerable supreme qualities. But amongst all these qualities, that one single quality which all the other qualities sometimes are visible, sometimes are not visible, based on circumstances, whatever the Lord wants. But there is no situation where the Lord's Bhaktvatsal nature is overpowered by any other quality. Always this Bhaktvatsal nature overpowers all the other qualities. Therefore, he is called Achyuta. In the other supremely powerful qualities may be visible, may not be visible. But Bhaktivatsal nature is always visible. So he is controlled by that quality. And who can control? Only a devotee can, like Arjuna, can control. He's telling, place the chariot so that I can see who are situated firmly and not trembling in fear. Avasthitan. That means arrayed in the battlefield. Those who are daring to fight. Those who are not afraid, I want to see. And then those who are really desiring to fight, they are Yodhu Kaman. And Baldev Vidyabhushan is commenting here, which Prabhupada also says towards the end, that there is no question of peacemaking here. So Baldev Vidyabhushan is saying that Krishna told at that time that you are a fighter, you are not a spectator. What will be accomplished by you going in between the two armies to see this? So there he is telling that the next verse basically, that I wish to see who all have come to fight me in this great trial of arms. Uh, for that purpose, place my chariot between the two armies. And Krishna is telling, oh, if they will see you, maybe they will give up their desire to fight, they will make friendship, they will make peace. Then Arjuna is saying, no, there will be no reconciliation between the two sides because they are intent on fighting, yotsamanan. And why they are intent on fighting? They are intent on fighting just to please Duryodhana, who is called as Durbuddher in verse number 23. You can see. Durbuddher means one who has less intelligence, one who cannot differentiate what is right and what is wrong. One who cannot serve the Lord is Durbuddhi. So, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. That which comes from Krishna, that is dharma. Everybody should simply follow what Krishna wants us to do. And one giving whatever reason, one who is not ready to follow what Krishna wants us to do is durbuddhi. Otherwise, we are subuddhi. So, how to understand what Krishna wants us to do? A careful examination of the version of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra will tell us what Krishna wants us to do. And for that, one needs to have some intelligence. And intelligence only comes to those people who are grateful and humble in their services to Guru and Krishna. Those who are sense controlled, only to them proper intelligence is awarded. Otherwise, one is always in illusion. The illusion is that I am the controller and I will control everything around me. Everything which I see is my zone of authority. So, as long as this is there, one will always be in illusion and one will always have durbuddhi. But if one wants to really serve Krishna and is ready to compromise their personal opinions when it comes in line or against Krishna consciousness, such people will not be durbuddhi. If he would have talked to Arjuna, Duryodhana, he would have given some good reasons why I am fighting. He is a diplomat, he could have proved himself right. But just because Krishna doesn't want it, it's wrong. That is durbuddhi. One second. Okay, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This almost as per Sloka 20, war will started already. That Arjuna has to
No, he didn't start.
ready to shoot the arrow.
Ready to shoot, but he did not shoot.
Not to shoot. Then again they stopped and then went to
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
So, I was going to say something. He wanted to, Krishna did something. Krishna is called as Rishikesha in the previous verse. So Rishikesha means one who is the master of everybody's senses. So do you think Krishna is knowing right now what's going on in the mind of Arjuna? Yes. So jokingly, when Krishna said, Ratham sthapya me achyuta, you please put me between the two armies, Krishna willingly brought him and stopped the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona only. So that he wanted Arjuna to go through something. Understanding the mind of Arjuna, that's why he's telling that you are a fighter, not a spectator. Dekh ke kya karoge? Just fight. Arjuna is giving reason, no, I want to see. ठीक है, चलो देखो. And then he stopped in front of Bhishma and Drona directly. He could have stopped in front of Duryodhana, Dushasana, and others. Karna is not there right now, Vikarna and others. But he specifically went in front of Bhishma and Drona. Okay, verse number 23. योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहं य एतेऽत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेर्युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Why he is not using the word Duryodhana and Dhartarashtra? Evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
That quality comes from Dhritarashtra.
Yes. In the first line only Prabhupada writes, it was an open secret that Duryodhana wanted to usurp the kingdom of Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father, Dhritarashtra. So evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. That means the son is also evil-minded, the father is also evil-minded. Something we have to learn here, by the behavior of the son, by the behavior of this child, rather, son or daughter, the upbringing of parents is judged. By the behavior of a disciple, the training of spiritual master is judged. So if I am not behaving properly, I bring a bad name to my superiors. So therefore, whenever some stupid activity we are doing, or when some stupid ideas are coming, or we know that we are wrong, but we are still doing because of an ego battle going on, we should immediately stop and pause and think that, will this bring bad name to my seniors, my superiors, my spiritual master, my parents? If the answer is yes, please stop. Please read the purport.
Purport. It was an open secret that Duryodhana wanted to usurp the kingdom of Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father Dhritarashtra. Therefore, all persons who had joined the side of Duryodhana must have been birds of the same feather. Arjuna wanted to see them on the battlefield before the fight was begun, just to learn who they were. But he had no intention of proposing peace negotiations with them. It was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength which he had to face, although he was quite confident of victory because Krishna was sitting by his side.
So again, Prabhupada is highlighting he had no intention of proposing peace negotiations with them. Sanjay Uvacha eva mukto rishikesho gudakheshen bharata senayor madhye sthapayitva rathottamam. Some nice words have come up here. First nice word to note is Rishikesha. Again, Sanjaya is calling Krishna as Rishikesha. Arjuna is being called as Gudakesha. And this Ratha is called as Rathottamam, the finest amongst all the chariots. These three words we will kindly take note before studying. Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. So right now, Krishna has just brought it in front of Bhishma and Drona only. Please read the meaning.
In this verse, Arjuna is referred to Gudakesha. Gudaka means sleep, and one who conquers sleep is called Gudakesha. Sleep also means ignorance. So Arjuna conquered both sleep and ignorance because of this friendship with Krishna. As a great devotee of Krishna, he could not forget Krishna even for a moment, because that in the nature of devotees, either in
Yeah, so
working.
this is important. Who is a devotee? Sometimes people say, Prabhuji, I am a devotee, you're not giving me proper respect. Prabhuji, devotee आ रहे हैं, कुछ करना है. These devotees have to be called as Prabhu. So, what is the characteristic of a devotee? One who has conquered both sleep and ignorance, because he is always remembering Krishna and never forgetting Krishna, even for a moment. That is the nature of a devotee. So, I should assess for myself, am I a devotee? If I am not a devotee, no, I should not expect good things to happen to me also. Good things happen with devotees. With others, the slaughterhouse of the material nature should work. So next time if I find myself in some serious trouble, I should not say, I have been a devotee for 20 years. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? I should say, I have been a neophyte for last 20 years. ऐसा तो होना ही चाहिए मेरे साथ. So let's not forget the definition of devotional service. Let's not forget what it means to be a devotee. Let's not forget whose desires Lord Krishna is fulfilling here. It's Arjuna, who is Buddha Kesha, who has conquered all ignorance. That means he is completely aware of what Krishna wants here. And he has conquered sleep also. I think one who has conquered sleep will never miss the morning program. And one who has not been able to conquer sleep will never come to the morning program. But still they will say, I am a devotee. So this is the standard of devotional service. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada once said that those who are not coming for a morning program, their brahmacharya is a joke or is a farce. Srila Prabhupada expected everybody to follow brahmacharya. Either be a Naishtik brahmachari or a Grihastha brahmachari. But those who are not able to come for morning program, their brahmacharya is a farce. Means there is no question of going back to God. So jokingly I say, those who have not seen the Brahma Muhurta, they will never see Param Brahma Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And once I told this to someone, they got offended. That you don't know the responsibilities which we have. Those other works which we are doing, we have so many things to take care. How can we come? Prabhu, I think if we are serious and even if we miss the morning program, if we are sincere, Krishna will understand. He'll take us back to God. Krishna will understand how sincere we are. So either in waking or in sleep, a devotee of the Lord can never be free from thinking of Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. Okay, by practice in waking one can be do, but how in sleep also one can do this? By practice only. There is one pastime which is narrated by His Holiness Achyuta Swami Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada was in Germany. And then everybody was saying, Srila Prabhupada has come, pure devotee has come, this, that. So Sajjanandan Maharaj, that time not Maharaj, he wanted to see the devotion of Srila Prabhupada. So when Srila Prabhupada was sleeping, he got into the balcony of his room and he was peeping from the window. And he peeped for 5 minutes. And in 5 minutes, he saw that Srila Prabhupada is lying in the bed, his eyes are closed. And while sleeping, he is chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I mean, he could see his lips are moving and he's saying Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare. So he was thinking, yeah, he is Gudakesha, he has conquered his sleep. And after 5 minutes, Srila Prabhupada straight away looked at him. And then he again jumped out of the balcony. So either in waking or sleep, a devotee of the Lord can never be free from thinking of Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. When Srila Prabhupada was quitting his body, in Krishna Balram temple Vrindavan, where his whole body had stopped working, one of his god brothers noticed that, see, he's going to quit his body in few minutes, but see, his tongue is still moving. Although his voice was not coming, he was not able to speak anything, but still, in that state also, he was trying to chant Krishna's name. This is called determination. My situation is such that I am not determined to chant 16 rounds also. But I am a devotee. And if I quit my body, where I'll go? Golok Vrindavan only. So it's not a joke to go back home, back to God. So these dialogues, they are not just dialogues that Prabhupada is saying either in waking or sleep. Prabhuji, talk practical, Prabhu, practical baat karo. We are IT people. This is the standard. Either in waking or sleep, the devotee of the Lord can never be free from thinking of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Thus, a devotee can conquer both sleep and ignorance simply by thinking of Krishna constantly. This is called Krishna consciousness or samadhi. As Rishikesha or director of the senses and mind, every living entity and the mind of every living, Krishna could understand Arjuna's purpose in placing the chariot in the midst of the armies. Now, listen to some very beautiful definitions of the word Gudakesha. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives one meaning of Gudakesha, and another meaning of Gudakesha is given by Baldev Vidyabhushan. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, here is the significance of the word Gudakesha. Akesha means Vishnu, represented by A. Akesha means Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva. How? A represents Vishnu, Ka represents Brahma, and Isha represents Shiva. So Akesha represents Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva. Gudakesha means Arjuna who gives Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva the experience of the sweetness of Lord's affection. Just as sugar is called Guda. This is how Acharyas play with the words. Now, Acharyas can play with the words. You and me should not start playing with the words. We are not qualified. So, another meaning of the word Guda is sugar, and Gudakesha means one who gives experience of Lord's affection to Akesha, Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. Just like sugar gives the experience of sweetness. Therefore, Gudakesha refers to he who, by bringing Krishna under his control, gave Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva the opportunity to experience Krishna's sweetness. So, in the 10th canto, chapter 89, last chapter or second last chapter of the 10th canto, we see that Mahavishnu is kidnapping the sons of a Brahmana to get darshan of Krishna. So, here that is a sufficient evidence that Mahavishnu is attracted by the sweetness of Krishna. And that time also Krishna and Arjuna are both together. So that is one meaning which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is presenting. Gudakesha refers to he who, by bringing Krishna under his control, gave Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva the opportunity to experience Krishna's sweetness. Where the Supreme Lord Krishna, the crown jewel source of all avatars, being controlled by prema, followed the orders of his servant Arjuna, how could Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva, his expansions as Guna avatars, show off any of their powers? Instead, they felt they had reached the pinnacle of perfection by manifesting affectionate feelings for the Lord themselves. And how they were getting these affectionate feelings for Lord Krishna? They were being inspired by Arjuna. Yet we should also try to serve the Lord like Arjuna. And then evidence is 10th canto, chapter 89. of Srimad Bhagavatam. Another meaning of Gudakesha is Isha also means sleep or Lord. And Gudaka is ignorance. So one who has conquered ignorance or sleep is also called Gudakesha. Now let's see what our other acharyas are saying. Yeah, Bhaktivedanta Bhushan is giving this meaning only, Gudakesha. The Lord means Isha, Gudaka means sleep or ignorance. Um, Rishikesha is the master of senses, that is Krishna. And the chariot is being called as Rathottamam. Why? Because it was one of the best chariots given by, who gave this chariot? Okay, we'll go to the next verse. Did you note down two meanings of Gudakesha?
Ignorance and sleep.
And you give the pleasure.
I'm hearing only one meaning. Any other meaning?
One who gives Krishna's sweetness to Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva.
One who gives experience of Krishna's sweetness to Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva. Okay, next verse. Verse number 25. भीष्मद्रोण प्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरुनिति. In the presence of Bhishma and Drona and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold, Partha, the Kurus are assembled here. But
As the
point to be noted, why again and again Krishna calls, Arjuna gives different names to Krishna. Sometimes he calls him Varshneya, sometimes he calls him Rishikesha, sometimes he calls him Achyuta. There is a specific reason why he calls. Similarly, whenever Krishna calls him as Partha or Kaunteya, there is a specific reason. So here, Partha means what?
Pruta,
Son of Pritha. So when he says Partha, what is he trying to say?
That you are from this dynasty.
Yes, you belong to the Kshatriya dynasty. When he says Kaunteya, also it means the same. He is also giving hint that you belong to the Pandava. When he says Pandava, specifically he means that, or Bharata, that you belong to a great race. You cannot do what your mind asks you to do. A person from Bharata race or Pandava dynasty has to ignore his mind and do what is dharma. But at the same time, you are Partha, you are Kaunteya, you are the son of my father's sister. So I'm going to support you and I'm going to help you. So these are two words. Partha, Kaunteya, Rishikesha, he knows the minds of Arjuna. Please read the purport.
As the supersoul of all living entities, Lord Krishna could understand what was going on in the mind of Arjuna. The use of the word Rishikesh in this connection indicates that he knew everything, and the word Partha or the son of Kunti or Pratha is also similarly significant in reference to Arjuna. As a friend, he wanted to inform Arjuna that because Arjuna was the son of Pratha, the sister of his own father Vasudeva, he had agreed to be the charioteer of Arjuna. Now, what did Krishna means when he told Arjuna to behold the Kurus? Did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Krishna never expected such things from the son of his aunt Pratha. The mind of Arjuna was thus predicted by the Lord in friendly joking.
Krishna never expected such things from the son of his aunt Pritha. The mind of Arjuna was predicted by the Lord in friendly joking. That means he is Rishikesha, he already knows. Again, Baldev Devotion is telling that Lord is asking again and again, what is the use of viewing the troops of your enemy? In a joking way, he is asking. But Arjuna is telling, no, no, I want to see. So then what did Arjuna see? So first, he took up his bow and then he started telling to Krishna, take my chariot. Then Lord Rishikesha then drew the chariot and took it exactly in front of Bhishma and Drona. And the words Gudakesha, Rishikesha, Partha is very nicely explained. And then in verse number 27, he starts seeing. What does he see? तत्रापश्यत् स्थितान् पार्थान् पितॄन् अथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि. There Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, uncles, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his father-in-law and well-wishers. So who are the fathers here? Pitrina. Bhishma is not the father of Arjuna. He is the father of the father. Fathers, who are the fathers specifically? All the names were told in the beginning of the chapter. There was one person who was the friend of Pandu. Who was he? He's like father Bhurishrava. Bhurishrava is in the category you can note down. I'm saying all this so that you can take notes. Pitrin, fathers are Bhurishrava. Who are the Pitamahan? Very good. And Somadatta also. Acharyan? Okay, Dronacharya, Kripacharya. Matulan, maternal uncles. Shalya, Shakuni, very good. Bhratrin, you can see the purport and tell. Purport में सब लिखा हुआ है, मैं purport से ही बात कर रहा हूँ. Bhratrina, who are the brothers here? अरे भाई 100 brothers are there. Duryodhana, Vikarna, Dushasana, and he saw it in both parties. Yes, Lakshma is the son. Son of Duryodhana is also the son of Arjuna in one way. So Lakshmana is the son of Duryodhana. And Pautran. Who are the Pautran here? Sons of son. Who are the grandsons here? Abhimanyu is son. परीक्षित पैदा हो गया. मतलब कभी भी कुछ भी बोल देंगे. कुरुक्षेत्र टाइम में परीक्षित is still in the womb. I think he has not yet come out. Skrituvarma will come in the category of well-wishers, Suhridash. Pautran, so there is some historical evidence that Duryodhana's son Lakshmana also had some sons. They were also in battle. So sons of Lakshmana are called grandsons. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Lakshmana is called as the son of Duryodhana. Now, if there is another Lakshmana who is the daughter, I don't know. We can find out. He is in the category of Pitrina, the father, friend of Pandu. Sakhims, who are the friends here? Ashwathama. Swashuran, father-in-law. Father-in-law भी आ गए हैं, बताओ. Who is the father-in-law here? Drupada, was he there in the battle? Yes, so father-in-laws भी हैं. मदर इन लॉ भी आ गए हैं क्या? नहीं, बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. Suhridash, well wishers are Kritvarma. However, this word Suhrida, uh, the only person whom we can properly apply this word Suhrida is Krishna. Later on, it will come Suhridam Sarva Bhutana Yatma Mam Shanti Mrichati. So, what happened when Arjuna saw all of them? Please read the purport.
On the battlefield, Arjuna could see all kinds of relative. He could see persons like Bhunshar- Bhurishava,
Bhuri Shrava,
who were the fathers, competitors,
competitors,
grandfathers,
nahi,
sorry,
contemporaries.
contemporaries, grandfathers, Bhishma and Somdatta, teachers like Dronacharya and Kripacharya, maternal uncle like Shalya Shakuni, brothers like Duryodhana, son like Lakshmana, friends like Aswathama, well-wishers like Kitabrahma, etc. He could see also the armies which contained many of his friends.
Yes. Verse number 27. तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टो विषीदन् इदमब्रवीत्. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. So there are 5 reasons why Arjuna didn't want to fight. We are going to discuss those reasons. The first reason is Kripaya Parayavishto. It means compassion. I'm just checking if anything else needs to be added. Yes, there is some good stuff coming from Baldevi Bhushan. Please listen to the commentary to verse number 27. The merciful Lord of all beings, desiring to deliver the universe through instructions to his dear associate, put Arjuna under illusion. Arjuna is Gudakesha. He has conquered ignorance. One form of ignorance is Maya. So one who has conquered Maya by surrendering to Krishna is also called Gudakesh. So Arjuna is Gudakesh. He cannot be under any illusion. But he is being put under illusion. Because the Lord wants to deliver the universe by speaking Bhagavad-gita. Please take note, whatever the Lord wants to do, He'll do it with His pure devotees only. If He wants to eat, He'll go to the house of His pure devotee. If He wants to dance, He'll dance with His pure devotees. If He wants to play, He'll play with His pure devotees. If He wants to tell Bhagavad-gita, He'll tell it to His pure devotees. If He wants to do Sankirtan, He'll do it with His pure devotees only. So, what was the illusion which Arjuna was put into? So, there is a statement in the Shruti or in the Vedic literatures that Ma himsayat sarva bhutani. Ma means no, himsayat means violence, sarva bhutani. With all the living entities, one should not be violent. With any living entity, one should not be violent. So this is one of the laws. Do not commit violence against any living entity. But some rule, not all rules are universally applicable. Every rule has to be checked in every circumstance whether it is applicable or not. There is only one rule which is applicable in all circumstances, and all other rules are servants of this rule. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. All other rules are servants of this rule. This rule is universal. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, and then that means do what Krishna tells you to do. There is a verse also in the Vishnu Purana, I think. I will find that verse which says this. I think I read it in Nectar of Devotion, just pulling it out. स्मर्तव्य सततम विष्णुर विस्मर्तव्यो न जातुचित सर्वे विधि निषेधाः स्युर एतयोर इव किंकरः. What's the reference for this? Kinkara means servant. This is quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Padma Puran and Chaitanya Charitamrita also. So this is from Padma Puran. What does it say? Smartavya Satatam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna. Vismartavyo na jatuchit. Smartavya is remembrance. Vismartavya means forget. So always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. First rule. Sarve vidhe nishedha syur. Etayor vidhe nishedha means rules, regulations. All rules and prohibitions. Sarve vidhe nishedha syur. Mentioned where? In the Shastras. Etayor iva kinkara. Kinkara means servant. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastra are servants of this principle. What is that principle? Smartavya satatam Vishnur vismartavyo na jatuchit sarve vidhe nishedha syur etayor iva kinkara. So in this way you can memorize this also. So this principle which is coming from Dharma Shastra, what is that principle? Ma himsayat sarva bhutani. Do not commit violence to any living entity. It is a rule. But above that rule is smartavyam satatam Vishnu vismartavyam na jatuchit. So Arjuna was put into illusion because of this one rule. Ma himsayat sarva bhutani. He was thinking ahimsa parmo dharma. And he was thinking this on the battlefield. This was the illusion which the Lord put him into. He is Gudakesh, but by the will of the Lord, he has become confused between Dharma Shastra, Artha Shastra, and Bhakti Shastra. He's that Arjuna who is most expert, he's getting confused now. Are you able to understand? And Paryavishto, because of his extremely compassionate nature, he showed remorse. Vishidan, which we will see in the later verses. Vishidam mamagatrani. His hand will start shaking, his throat will become dry. I'll come back. Just hold on to the questions. So who can be Kripalu? Who can be Kripaya? Who will be compassionate? Option A, a butcher will be compassionate. Option B, a sinful person who is not surrendered to the Lord will be compassionate. Third, the politician or the diplomat will be compassionate. Or fourth, a devotee only of the Lord can be compassionate. What is the correct answer? Yes. In such a situation, only a devotee can be compassionate. I was going to give many other options, but then I thought that the class is being recorded, so I just. So please, I'm not making a fun here, but understand the situation. That people like the Pandavas, they have come on the verge of a battle, and the reason of the battle is. What is the main reason why Mahabharata is being done?
Declined to give even 5 villages, let alone Hastinapur, let alone half of Hastinapur to the Pandavas.
What do you think is the main reason why Mahabharata got triggered?
Draupadi told to Duryodhana, son of blind is blind. No, that is that was the influence.
You have proved that you have seen B.R. Chopra's Mahabharata.
This is not real Mahabharata.
It was planned before that itself. Main reason is Draupadi Vastraharana. Everything else can be justified. This one event cannot be justified. That was the trigger. For example, why did Lord Ram kill Ravana? Lord Ram is such a kripalu person. You do anything to him, he'll say, okay, chalo maaf kiya. So to kill Ravan, he needed a strong reason. Which reason is strong reason enough for a person like Lord Ram to kill someone? Abduction of the wife of Lord Ram. That is the only reason. Similarly, for whole Mahabharata to happen, the Pandavas were so eager to forgive the Dhartarashtras. But who was that person who didn't allow them to forgive? Yes. So one of the main reasons is Draupadi Vastraharana, because that is uncivilized culture. If Duryodhana would have come and touched the feet of Draupadi and requested forgiveness, do you think Mahabharata would have happened? Maaf karo. Pair chhu ke maafi maang rahe. Mahabharata wouldn't have happened. It was not just one. The main reason was irreligious code of conduct. क्या है? Rat है ना? Oh. So this is the problem. See, this is, I was doing Anuman. Anuman doesn't work when it comes to understanding Supreme Absolute Truth. Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Praman doesn't work. I was thinking it's a rat, but it came out to be a child. So the only thing which works is Shabda Praman. Shastra, whatever Shastra says, that is fine. And amongst all the Shastras, we cannot accept the version of all Shastras, just the Bhakti Shastras are the best Shastras, like Bhagavad-gita and Bhagavatam. So we have to follow that. Okay, coming back to the discussion. Yeah, so now the bodily symptoms of Arjuna will become visible. Yes.
So, you said that the main trigger, the trigger for the Mahabharata was the Chiraharan. However, despite, after the Chiraharan,
Also, yeah.
when Krishna goes to Duryodhana's Prasad, pacify, that happens after.
Yeah, the Shanti Dut pastime, yes. Just to highlight that an adharmic person doesn't listen to any good advice. Just to highlight this point. Just like Lord Ram sent Angad to Lord, no, not Lord Ravana, only Ravana. But Angad's good advice was not accepted. Hanuman's good advice was not accepted. Vibhishan's good advice was not accepted. This is the degree to which one gets degraded when they engage in illicit sex life.
So, can we say that Bhagavad knew that
Yeah.
Duryodhana is not going to listen?
Yes, he knew. He knew it very well. He just wanted to highlight that wherever this culture of avoiding illicit sex life is not followed, the people get degraded so much. And the epitome of illicit sex life is to strip a woman naked in front of everybody and tell her to sit on the thigh and call her a prostitute. And doing so with a chaste woman is even more serious. When Duryodhana had realized that I am going to lose this battle, at that time when Kripacharya and Ashwathama other were counseling him, then give up the battle. He gave two reasons why he cannot give up the battle. Number one, I have killed Abhimanyu and I have gone too far now. I killed a child, and that too I killed him with many other people. I have done this sin is so great that I deserve to be killed now. Second, from the last 14-15 years, Draupadi is sleeping on the floor practicing austerities with a desire to see my death. Those austerities cannot be reversed. So he stated these two reasons. So this shows that he was afraid of the power of a chaste woman. Therefore, we recommend all women should be chaste. Chaste woman and high character men and chaste women. This combination protects the society. But when men lose their character and when women lose their chastity, then something which we will study today, what is that? Varana Shankar will happen. And what are the problems with Varana Shankar? We'll discuss. So now, verse number 28 onwards, please note down the reasons which Arjuna gave of not fighting. Arjuna gave 5 reasons for not fighting.
I had a question. Like, are you good? Arjuna is good at it, but still,
Please do not speak without the mic because it is not getting recorded.
Yeah, Prabhuji, like in the battlefield, though Arjuna is Gudakesa, who has conquered the sleep and ignorance, but still Lord was able to,
Lord can do anything.
he got into his mind and senses, and he let you know the he altered, and he to give a uh, doubt that
Yes.
whether he can go fight or not, that kind of
So
thing.
what is the question?
So my question is like, why he didn't do that thing to Duryodhana, like make him, come to a good state?
Because the Lord is a gentleman, he does not force anybody. For example, if I want to, suppose I like you and I don't like, let's say, him. And if I want to, let's say, do some activity, whom will I go to? You or him?
You.
The person, you only, yes, correct. The person whom we like, we have confidence in them. We know that they will support us. Now, although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he does not takes away the free will from anybody. So, although Duryodhana also knows that Krishna is the Lord, he has seen the Sudarshan Chakra coming out, he has seen the Virat Rupa and other things. But out of free will, Duryodhana is still thinking that I will disobey Krishna. So, therefore, why should Krishna interfere there? Now, 5 reasons which Arjuna gives for not fighting. First, note down. First reason. Before studying only, we'll note down the 5 reasons. Compassion for friends and relatives. Reason number 1. This he talks about in verses 28 to 30. Second reason. No enjoyment even after victory. Verses 31 to 35. Third reason. Fear of sinful reactions. Verses 36 to 38. Fourth reason. Destruction of family traditions. Verses 39 to 43. So these 4 reasons are there in chapter 1. The 5th reason is there in chapter 2, which is indecision. Decide ही नहीं कर पा रहे हैं क्या करना है. So these are the 5 reasons which Arjuna will give in the first chapter for not fighting the battle. And all these 5 reasons will be counteracted by Lord Krishna in the second chapter, starting from verse number 11 till verse 53. The whole second chapter of Bhagavad-gita is counteracting Arjuna's reasons for not fighting the battle. Clear? Yes, but misplaced compassion is not good. Misplaced compassion means that which is ignorant to one's real self interest. My real self interest is Vishnu, Krishna. When I forget that, then that compassion becomes misplaced compassion. A very classic example of misplaced compassion is Bharat Maharaj's compassion to the deer. He started ignoring the Brahma Muhurta activities to take care of the deer. So is that not compassion? That is compassion, but it is misplaced compassion. One should be compassionate first to themselves. Atmaha, you cannot be a killer of your soul just to be compassionate to someone else. You cannot be a killer of your soul to fulfill the self created responsibilities while ignoring spiritual life. You cannot be a killer of your soul taking care of other things, compromising your japa, compromising your bhakti, and in the name of love, relatives, family, society, you're compromising your own spiritual life in the name of compassion. So that is misplaced compassion. One should have affection for friends, society, love, family, but one should be attached only to Krishna. When you start compromising your Krishna consciousness in the name of friendship, society, and love and family, then that is called misplaced compassion. These are little tough things to speak, but has to be spoken. I'm not able to chant Hare Krishna because of this family affair. I'm not able to chant. And what to say? Maybe that family will save you in future. And devotees have learned this language, this devotional language, ISKCON language. They start speaking like that. What to do, Prabhu? I am in Maya. Are if you are in Maya, then do something about it, no? And they will laugh and say, Prabhu, we are in Maya, Prabhu. हम नहीं कर सकते हैं, Prabhu. At least we give them credit. At least they know कि हम लोग माया में हैं. बहुत लोगों को तो पता भी नहीं है. But then knowing it and not doing something about it is also very serious. So let's do something about it. Somebody wanted to comment something, ask something.
Yes. So, oh.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, please ask the question.
Prabhuji, see, not a question but thought. It is very difficult to be to know about the Krishna in the early stages. Like, it took years to know and still,
You're talking about yourself or in general, everybody?
general as well, and myself as well. Why? Because I see my son, right? He got introduced at the age of 7, okay, and in last 3 years, around 4 years. So I feel blessed that okay, he's getting what I could. But overall, in the Bharata itself, we see the early stage itself. After 3 or 4 years of age, kid gets into the schools or other things, and it takes whole life to returning back to these things. So how do guide, or how do you see these things that future may if we want this thing from the beginning, what we can do it, as the humans here, or maybe how ISKCON or other institutions are helping the world.
हम लोग क्या हेल्प कर रहे हैं? कुछ तो नहीं कर रहे हैं.
But it's a very it's a concern, right? It's a concern, right? Because
ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಹೇಳಿ, ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳಿ, ಮೈಕ್ ಕೊಡಿ. ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಇದೆ. Yeah, so but will you put? You also have children at your home. Will you send them? Then adike. The main problem is in birth only. Main defect is in birth. I am a pig. My children will also be small pigs only. No? It is very clear that if the birth is not pure, then the whole life gets affected by that consciousness. So therefore, one's birth should be pure first. That is called Garbhadan Samskaras. First. Srila Prabhupada tells in Bhagavatam that 5,000 years ago, 80% of the society was begotten by Garbhadan Samskara. 80%. And now, not even 1%, not even 0.1%. This is the progress of Kali Yuga. Second thing is, we should be ready not to send our children to some kind of slaughterhouse educational system where their curiosity about God or where their bhakti is being killed progressively and systematically. That requires effort. Don't just expect everything from ISKCON only. I have given birth to a child, it's my responsibility. I am sending them to a slaughterhouse school where different kinds of children are there, different kinds of people are there, and they are learning all atheistic things. And what good do you expect? Garbage in, then garbage out. GIGO. Garbage in, garbage out. Especially the circumstances where both parents are working and they are sending their children to some school. They are quoting shlokas of Prahlad Maharaj but still doing it. And how can we help such cases? At least one person should stay at home, first of all, to take care of a child, to take care of a soul, to do the duty that I have brought this soul in this material world. At least let me try my best to make this soul Krishna conscious. No, that also I will not do. I will just beget some children and then I'll send them to school and both of us will go to work. Then how will the society progress? Where is the sacrifice here? Somebody has to sacrifice, somebody has to stay back, somebody has to take care, somebody has to inculcate. Some homeschooling karo, padhao. 4 or 5 parents should come together and they should say, okay, we want to make the society good. We will take care of the education of our children. We will only give them Krishna consciousness. No, that also I don't want to do. And what solution is possible? Would you like to donate 5 acres of land and some 10 crore rupees so that we can make a Gurukul? No, that also will not give. I'll not donate also. I'll not give my money also. I'll not give my time also. I'll send my children to school at slaughterhouse school also. But then what can ISKCON do? Or what can you do? Nobody can do anything. Nothing great is achieved without sacrifice. Be ready to do some sacrifices.
Family also becoming nuclear.
Without joint family, how you can bring up a child properly? A child who is not seeing grandfather, grandmother, uncle, auntie, and cousins. So how will that child come up properly? By watching Netflix. That's all. What do you expect from such children? They'll become acharyas in future. They'll save the world. What contamination you saw at the age of 20, 25, the child will see at the age of 5. And that's happening. That is happening. So, first of all, I have to be ready to make some sacrifice. Change the culture. So, therefore, we are doing a lot of ahimsa by giving this kind of environment to our children. So, do some ahimsa balancing. This is the only practical thing I see. Ahimsa balancing means sit with your family, including your children, morning and evening. Do kirtan. Number 2, engage your children and your family in deity worship in the Brahma Muhurta. This is number 2. Number 3, eat only Krishna Prasad. And number 4, discuss, not read, discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. These are the 4 steps of ahimsa balancing, जिससे कुछ hope बचे रहेगा. Maybe some generations in future, maybe your sons, maybe your children's children will be little courageous people and they will take the right things in life, do the right things in life. But the only hope here is these 4 steps. Eat only Krishna Prasadam, discuss Srimad Bhagavatam with your children and family, morning and evening assemble for kirtan, and then engage in deity worship. That's the only hope I see, especially children. If the father and mother don't sit with the children every day, at least 1 hour, and read and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, then what hope is there? There is no hope. So if at least this much you are ready to do, some hope is there, then maybe we can do some things further in ISKCON also. Otherwise, what can be done? Just by one class on a Sunday, the samskara and the abhijatasya, the birth, the samskara which one has got from birth, and the swabhava cannot change in a 1 hour, 2 hour kids class, no? And which is happening just so that you be tension free. ISKCON's kids classes are also very transcendental. नो सिलेबस नथिंग, किसी को भी पकड़ लो, आज ये तुम टीचर हो, कल तुम टीचर हो, कल तुम टीचर हो. वो टीचर भी आ गया ऐसे ही क्योंकि उसको मैसेज किया है 5 बार आने के लिए. आके कुछ तो कोई श्लोका ले लो, रटवा दो, गवा दो, कुछ खिला दो, कुछ पेंटिंग करा दो, हाँ, आचार्यज आर रेडी. It needs time, it needs effort, it needs focus, it needs attention, it needs sacrifice. It's not a joke. And this is the main reason why devotees' children are not becoming devotees. Double standard life they see in their parents only. And the parents, although they say that you have to chant Hare Krishna, but they encourage them in material life. The parents will put material desires in their heart from childhood only. Why does the child aspire to go to such institutions like IIT and IIM? No parent had the guts to say that just do some education and dedicate your life to Krishna. But every parent has the extra endeavor to send them to Allen. And then expect ki I'm putting him in a rat race, I'm putting my child in a rat race, but ultimately he'll become Narad Muni only next life. We want to see those parents who encourage their children to dedicate their life to serve Krishna, or to dedicate their life for the propagation of Sanatan Dharma. But no parents are doing this. I challenge all of you, करके दिखाओ. नहीं कर सकते आप लोग, क्योंकि आप लोगों को अपनी छाती चौड़ी करनी है. मेरा बेटा IIM से पास आउट है, मेरी बेटी एम्स नीट क्वालिफाई की है विदाउट पेपर लीक. We are the ones who are putting material desires in the core of our hearts of our children by our conduct in the house, by our conduct indirectly or indirectly. तो फिर क्या ही होगा सर? I have rarely seen parents who encourage their children ki, marks are not important. Krishna consciousness is important. Material designation is not important. Spiritual reality is important. कौन है ऐसा parent? दिखाओ मुझे. या एटलीस्ट सर ऊपर करके बताओ कि हाँ मैं ऐसा कर रहा हूं. इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि हम लोग खुद ही करप्टेड है. हमारे बच्चे कहाँ, दिस इज वेयर दैट्स वेयर आई एम सेइंग बर्थ ओनली इज डिफेक्टिव. और आजकल डिवोर्सेस इतना बढ़ रहा है. All my students who are getting married now, in 2 months time they are getting divorced. Whenever I see some new person getting married, I pray for them. कि एटलीस्ट 5-6 साल तो चले. And 85% of the divorce cases are filed by women only. 85%. And reasons are hilarious reasons for divorce. Recent one reason for divorce is I asked my husband to drop me to metro station. I asked him to buy me ice cream. I asked him to buy clothes. He didn't do it. Within 2 months, divorce. Reason, does not give me emotional care. These are practical cases.
Modern.
Yes, Mataji, you have an objection? This is a case number भेज देता हूँ आपको.
Mike.
I am a brahmachari. I cannot answer grihastha questions. Keep it
नहीं,
related to Bhagavad Gita.
भगवत गीता से प्रभु सेक्रीफाई बोल रहे हैं हम लोग. तो सेक्रीफाई जैसे अगर कोई पर्सन सेक्रीफाई कर रहे हैं, लेकिन इन्वायरमेंट उसे सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, अगर इन्वायरमेंट वो फॉलो नहीं कर रहे हैं, जैसे सुबह भक्ति करना ये सब, तो जो पर्सन सेक्रीफाई कर रहे हैं अगर उन्हें सपोर्ट नहीं मिल रहा है, जस्ट लाइक हम पास्ट में जाते हैं, जैसे देखते हैं दहेज प्रथा जो राजा राम मोहन ने उसे हटाया था, बहुत स्ट्रगल किया था, जस्ट लाइक सती प्रथा. तो फिर ये सब जो प्रथा फिर क्यों हटाया जाता है, फिर ये प्रथा आती कहाँ से, फिर हटाया क्यों जाता है? अगर सेक्रीफाई है तो वहाँ तो सपोर्ट नहीं हो तो दहेज प्रथा आ गया. तो फिर यहाँ सेक्रीफाई जो कर रहा है फिर जाए, मतलब अगर देखें तो जनरेशन अगर आगे बढ़ी तो ये सेक्रीफाई जहाँ पर वैल्यू नहीं किया गया तो कहीं ना कहीं कुछ गलत रॉन्ग निकला. तो आज के समय में बहुत कुछ रॉन्ग हो रहा है. जिसने जब सेक्रीफाई किया था सपोर्ट नहीं मिला, तो सपोर्ट नहीं मिलने से तो फिर तो बहुत कुछ तो सिस्टम गड़बड़ होगा. तो फिर हम ब्लेम फिर उसी सेक्रीफाई पर्सन को हम करेंगे फिर कि हाँ फिर अगेन वो सेक्रीफाई करे, फिर दहेज प्रथा, फिर सती प्रथा. तो ये इसका पीछे क्या सॉल्यूशन होना चाहिए, मेरा ये क्वेश्चन प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी ये क्वेश्चन मेरा अभी के लिए नहीं, ये क्वेश्चन मेरा
नहीं, I'm trying to understand your question. Sacrifice किया, सपोर्ट नहीं मिला तो दहेज प्रथा आया.
सती प्रथा प्रभु जी.
See, sacrifice is always personal. Sacrifice cannot be forced. अगर आपका बच्चा does not want to get into Vedic education, you cannot force your child. The sacrifice which I am saying here is try your best. Try your best to become a Krishna conscious person. Try your best to make the child in, but don't be in ignorance, that I am actually doing something opposite, but I am thinking I am trying my best. So sacrifice here means prayers. Think about the Krishna conscious future and take some steps in the present which are not so much comfortable for you. उसके लिए आपको अपने comfort zone से बाहर आना पड़ेगा. That is the sacrifice which I am talking about. And now your question is कि जब support नहीं मिलता है तो उसका misuse हो जाता है. In this parent and children scenario, can you explain कैसे support नहीं होने से misuse हो जाएगा?
हाँ, जो पेरेंट के रोल है वो पेरेंट के रोल करने और चिल्ड्रन के जो रोल है उन्हें वो करने. अगर दोनों में से कोई अपने रोल नहीं करते तो फिर वहाँ फिर
तो फोर्स नहीं करना है.
हाँ, फोर्स तो कहीं नहीं करना.
The element of sacrifice means it should be done individually, voluntarily and spontaneously. The moment you bring in force, then misuse will happen. For example, if a woman does not want to become sati, why are you forcing her to become sati? कहीं ऐसा लिखा है कि रुक्मिणी she was pushed into the fire by Vasudev, कृष्ण गए अब तुम भी जाओ, ऐसा नहीं लिखा है. It was voluntary. So the whole sacrifice thing has to be voluntary. Some push is needed initially. For instance, if somebody, for example, coming for morning program is a sacrifice. So initially some push is needed. But you cannot be pushing whole life. And when it comes to things like the Dahej, it's an inconvenience. You cannot force someone. On record, I am saying dowry is not a sin. Dowry is not a crime. It exists in Vedic culture. It should happen, but it should not be demanded. A father purifies his hard earned money by giving away in charity with the daughter. That is necessary. A father should do it. It is dharmic. It should not be abolished. And this I am not saying because my friends are from Andhra or I am from Bihar. दहेज होना चाहिए. It is necessary for the dharmically purification of the Lakshmi of the father, but it should not be demanded and it should not be, like if you don't give, I'll cancel the marriage, or if you don't give, वैसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So any sacrifice where forceful pressure is being applied, that sacrifice will not be a sacrifice. It will become a problem later on. Sacrifice should be inspired. If I'm asking someone to do some sacrifice, then I should do it and show. And if I'm not able to inspire them, then I should shut up. That yes, Prabhu, although I am coming for morning program, but my son doesn't feel inspired by me. I'm sorry. Although I've talked with him, I've requested him, but he doesn't come. अब क्या करें, मारे हैं क्या? तो नहीं मारिए मत. That's how sacrifice should be. But then no, Prabhu, I will make sure that he comes. मार के पीट के लेके आएंगे. Then misuse हो जाएगा in future, and then a case will come that ISKCON parents, they beat their children to come for morning under sleep deprived students, sleep deprived children of ISKCON. Don't marry your children in ISKCON. बहुत बड़ा केस बन जाएगा वो. फिर राजा राम मोहन रॉय आएंगे, फिर वो ISKCON को बैन करेंगे.
प्रभु जी सेम थिंग प्रभु जी. अब ये सती प्रथा, दहेज प्रथा, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस प्रभु जी, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस में हम लोग देख रहे हैं अभी बहुत सारा केस सारा बढ़ते ही जा रहा है, जिसका एक डाइवोर्स आ जाता है, हम लोग बोलते हैं.
Yes.
तो ये डाइवोर्स जो बना है, तो क्या ये डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस सैक्रिफाई करना है या डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस को कहीं अप्लाई करना है या उससे बाहर निकलना है प्रभु जी?
माता जी आंसर करेंगे. ये आपके आगे में जो बैठे हुए एक्सपर्ट माता जी हैं इन सब्जेक्ट रिलेटेड टू डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस, उनको दीजिए. बताइए माता जी.
But I can't understand what you ask.
डोमेस्टिक, मैं क्वेश्चन
भगवद गीता पढ़ रहे हैं हम लोग.
ये गीता से ही है प्रभु जी. अगर डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस हम बोल रहे हैं, तो उसे फेस करना है, उसे सैक्रिफाई करना है, या उसका सॉल्यूशन निकालना है जो हमारे लिए बना है. जो डाइवोर्स इसमें आते हैं, तो क्या डाइवोर्स तो रॉन्ग है, डाइवोर्स तो इसको नहीं देते हैं, फिर हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हम नहीं, मतलब हमारे सोसाइटी में क्या कर सकते हैं?
Prabhu, what I feel she's asking why these divorces are happening because
No, our question is domestic violence में क्या कर सकते हैं? डिवोर्स करना गलत है, तो फिर डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस अगर हो रहा है तो उसके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं?
Prabhu, what I feel is lack of education for the women, that how they should tolerate, how they should manage the affairs, like their relations. So this education is not being given in the schools.
By the parents also.
Yeah, parents also. Too much material education to achieve some good positions, money. So all this is being done. So that is missing. That is the reason they are not able to tolerate and sacrifice. And then
This is one of the reasons.
Yeah.
This is not the only reason. One of the reasons. One of the reasons is yes.
I think main reason. Mataji sir, they independent, earning, they living independently, they can live independent, not need anybody. Let them go out.
Yes, there are people like Barkhadat who will come on live, and on news they will say, woman doesn't need a man, only man needs a woman, but woman doesn't. This is like nonsense, the most nonsense theory I ever heard. That is why she had divorces also. Anyways, we will come back to chapter 28. Sorry, verse number 28. And one of the reasons is lack of Stri Dharma education. This is one. I'm not saying this is the only reason. One of the reasons. There are other reasons also, that men are not of good character. That is also one of the reasons. The too much materialistic nature of the society. That is also one of the reasons. And misuse of the law is also one of the reasons, especially after Nirbhaya case. Even the judicial system of India, Supreme Court, and everybody knows that the law is being misused by the women. They keep filing false cases of most of the domestic abuse cases are false only. And they threaten people. For example, one of the cases with my students, 2 months marriage, they were demanding 40 lakhs. And if they were not ready to give, then they were saying, we'll file this case, this case, this case, domestic abuse, sab karwa denge, like that. So, misuse of the law, lack of good character in men, lack of Sri Dharma education in children, in women, and lack of marriage education, what it means to be married, the element of sacrifice and adjustment in relationships. All these things are missing. That is why so many problems are there in the society. And domestic violence is a result of that. But for me, a more serious problem than domestic violence is the spiritual violence which is happening in the mind and the hearts of people, where they are thinking that the aim of life is sense gratification and not bhakti. That is the main root of all problems. If we address this, then many other things will be solved. Verse number 28, Arjuna Vacha. We have to strictly keep the question and answers related to Bhagavad Gita. If other questions are coming, ask me outside the class or during prasad. Arjuna Vacha Drishtve Swajanam Krishna Yuyutsam Samupasthitam Sidanti Mama Gatrani Mukham Cha Parishushyati. There are so many lectures which Srila Prabhupada has given to explain each of these verses. I made some notes, but it's not possible to cover everything in 2.5 hours. Prabhupada has given lectures on 26, 27, 28, 29, all these verses, and from each lecture there is so much to know. But I'm just not able to cover everything. I need some 6 hours for every 20 verses. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Please read the purport very fast.
Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods. Whereas the non devotee, however advanced he may be in material qualification by education, culture, lacks in godly qualities. As such, Arjuna, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends, and relatives on the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by passion for them who had so decided to fight amongst themselves. As far as his soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning, but he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. And while he was so thinking, the limbs of this body began to quiver, and his mouth became dry. He was more or less astonished to see their fighting spirit. Practically, the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjuna, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind devotee like Arjuna, although it is not mentioned here, still, one can easily imagine that not only were Arjuna's body limbs quivering and his mouth drying up, but he was also crying out of compassion. Such symptoms in Arjuna were not due to weakness but his soft-heartedness. A characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord, it is said, therefore, Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvair Gunais Tatra Samasate Sura Arau Abhyaktyasyam Kuto Mahaguna Mano Pratenastati Davato Bahi. One who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all good qualities of the demigods. But one who is not devotee of Lord has only material qualification that are little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy.
Yes. So this is verse for memorization 5:18-12. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagvatya kinchana sarvair gunais tatra samasate suraha harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathe nasati dhavato bihi. One who has little bit devotion, correct? Unflinching devotion. Unflinching devotion means in all circumstances. Infallible devotion. माम चयो व्याभिचारेण भक्ति योगेन सेवते सगुणान समतीत्य हितान ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. So one who has unfailing devotion will be tested. Something disturbing will happen, then devotion will go for a toss. Or some performance improvement plan, tip will come. Then devotion will go for a toss. Or some relative will say something, or some kid will run away with someone. All these things can happen. Just to be ready. Or some things will come. So unflinching devotion. So this verse should not be misused. Why I am saying all these things? Because until we have akinchana bhakti, all good qualities will not naturally come to us. Until we develop akinchana bhakti, or until we come to the platform of akinchana bhakti, we have to practice all the good qualities, 30 good qualities, which is expected out of every Aryan or every follower of Vedic culture. What are those 30 qualities? I'll tell you. It's in the 7th canto. Seventh canto, chapter 11, shloka number 8 to 12, discussion between Narad Muni and Maharaj Yudhishthir. So these 30 qualities, Satyam, Daya, Tapah, Shaucham, Titiksha, Dharma Vyavastha, Shama, Dama, Ahimsa, Brahmacharyam, Tyagah, Swadhyaya, Arjavam, Santoshah, Samadrik Seva. That is rendering service to saintly people, Samadrik Seva. So these are general ethical, which irrespective of Varna and Ashram, everybody has to practice. These 15 qualities. And then 6 qualities which are specifically related to detachment, which is gradually withdrawing from unnecessary material social engagements, which is gram ye ho paramah shanaihi nrinam viparya yekshaha, means observing the futility of material activities. Maunam, being grave and practicing silence, means bakwas nahi karna hai. Atma vimarshanam, deep reflection. Annayadeha samvibhagah, distributing food and resources to all living entities. And Teshva Atma Devata Buddhi, seeing everyone on the spiritual platform. These 6 qualities, and then Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, all the 9 Navavidha Bhakti, that also comes in these 30 qualities. So everybody should practice these 30 qualities. And when you keep practicing, and slowly when you come to Akinchana Bhakti, which is here, Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagvatya Kinchana, then these 30 qualities will Sarvair Gunais Tatra Samasate Sura, will automatically come out in you. It will become your second nature. But until you come to the Akinchana Bhakti platform, what you should do? What you should do? Practice. You should practice this. You should not say that I am a devotee, so I have all these 30 qualities. No, sir, you don't have these 30 qualities. Practice madbeko. Devotee means all good qualities I have. I am a devotee. No, you are not a devotee. Devotee means Godakesha. So if you are not a devotee, you have to practice, practice, practice. And when you come to the Akinchana platform, then all good qualities will come. So this verse is highly misunderstood. Why I am paying attention? Because it's a highly misunderstood verse. People think I will just chant Hare Krishna, I'll keep seeing my mobile and I'll keep chanting Hare Krishna. I'll be driving my car and I'll be chanting Hare, inattentive chanting I'll be doing, and all good qualities will automatically come to me. Why to cultivate brahmacharya? I will just chant Hare Krishna. I'll now one day I'll become sannyasi. ऐसा नहीं होगा. You will remain ajamil only until you practice it consciously. Until you practice it, you will not get these qualities. Don't aspire for kripa siddhi simply. Aspire for sadhana siddhi first. Your sadhana should attract the kripa. खाली गुरुदेव बचा लेंगे बोलने से, that's good faith you have in the spiritual master, but then become qualified for it also. I want to really highlight this point. Don't think that without endeavor, these 30 qualities which everybody, irrespective of varna and ashram, has to practice, will come on its own. It will come on its own only when you come to the Akinchana Bhakti platform. Akinchana Bhaktas are like Prahlad Maharaj, Mrigari. Akinchana Bhaktas are like the four Kumaras, and there are so many examples in Bhagavatam. So they will automatically get these qualities. But my chanting only is very inattentive. Then how will I get these qualities? I have to practice. Is this much clear? And all these qualities were there in Arjuna. So therefore, such symptoms in Arjuna were not due to weakness, but due to soft-heartedness and characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord. It is therefore said. Okay. Verse number 29. वेपथुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं शंसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on the end, and my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. So this is a place where the weakness or the poor state of Arjuna is being highlighted. Arjuna had taken a vow that whoever asks me to put down my Gandiva, I will kill that person. This is his Kshatriya dharma. That when he's supposed to fight, if someone tells that you are not qualified to fight, you are a weak person, you are a coward person, I will kill that person. Means basically he took a vow that I will never be weak-hearted. I will never be weak-minded or evil-minded. I will never be durbuddhe. I will always follow the dharma. So therefore, once in the Mahabharata battle, the fight with Karna was happening, and then Karna managed to injure Yudhishthir. So Yudhishthir had gone to his room and he was applying some herbs on his body, some medicines. And Arjuna, seeing that Yudhishthir is not there in the battlefield, he wanted to go and check with him, are you okay or not? So as soon as Arjuna went to go and went with Krishna to check, so seeing Arjuna, Yudhishthir felt that he has killed Karna, otherwise why will he leave the battlefield? So he said, you are the only son, you are the best son, you are the actual son of Kunti, you have killed Karna, thank you. The main obstacle is removed, now Duryodhana is powerless, all that. But then Arjuna said, no, I have not killed Karna, I have just come to meet you. So then Yudhishthira started saying, you are the worst son of Kunti, who asked you to come here? Why you are holding this Gandiva, throw it away. And now Arjuna has taken a vow that whoever asks me to put down the Gandiva, what I will do? I'll have to kill that person. Then he's about to take out his sword, not because he doesn't like his brother, but he is under vow. So Krishna tells him that insulting a superior is equal to his death. For example, I have my senior, and if I insult them, it is like death for that person. That is why when in the first canto of Bhagavatam, when Arjuna goes back in a very sorry state back to Hastinapur, so Yudhishthir asks him some questions. That were you not able to give shelter to a person who came to you for shelter? Or were you insulted by one of your juniors? Or like that, he gives various reasons. Were you not able to speak the truth? So some reasons he gives why a person should be sorry. So Krishna says that insulting a superior is equivalent to death. So therefore you insult him. It is like killing the senior. So then Arjuna brings out all his grudges against Yudhishthira. Simply, I have been following you. My life has been spoiled because of following you. Who asked you to bed Draupadi? Who asked you to do this? Who asked you to do that? Just because you are saying your elder brother, you will do something, you still got the shock of his life. पूरा जीवन का grudges एक बार में निकला. That too in a battlefield. Yudhishthir was like crazy, and then immediately after insulting Yudhishthir, he immediately touched the feet of Yudhishthir and told, I had this vow. So I had to insult you because I had to kill you, but I could not kill you, so I have insulted you. So that Arjuna, who has taken a vow that I will never give up my Gandiva, in this verse what he is saying, Gandivam Shamsate Hastat. He himself is giving up the Gandiva. He is in a very serious situation. That's why I told you all this story. Imagine the seriousness. Arjuna knows that what he is doing, it's like committing suicide. He's committing suicide right now. His skin is burning. Please read the purport.
There are two kinds of trembling of the body, the two kinds of standing of the hair and on end. Such phenomena occurs either in great spiritual ecstasy or out of great fear under material conditions. There is no fear in transcendental realization. Arjuna's symptoms is this situation or out of material fear, namely loss of life. This is evident from other symptoms also. He became so impatient that his famous bow Gandiva was slipping from his hands, and because of his heart was burning within him, he was feeling a burning sensation of the skin. All these are due to a material conception of life.
Material conception of life means material attachments. If somebody becomes materially attached, they will start lamenting on those things which are not worth lamenting. I remember a very nice incident. It's a very stupid incident, but it will help us to understand better. I think I was 3 or maybe 4 years old at that time, and I was, I think, in nursery or LKG. And I went to show my notebook to my teacher, and then she was correcting, and then one girl, she came crying. So teacher asked, why are you crying? She said that line which you have written on the board, I am not able to write it here in one line. That's why she was crying. Then you know what the teacher told? Write in the next line. And then she stopped crying and went away and wrote. And this is very funny. Why it sounds very funny, but that girl, I can still remember her face. It was red. So many tears. Because she was lamenting on something which was not worth lamenting. And she did not know how much to lament, so she could not stop. Because she was attached to that one line. She saw the partner writing in one line, Hambi, one line. Now, the same attachment, we are laughing now. We are also all materially attached people. All of us. And when some Siddhas or some Four Kumaras or some Acharyas, when they look at us, they are like, just like you are laughing at that child, they will be laughing at us. They are lamenting for things which are not worth lamenting. नहीं हुआ तो छोड़ो, नहीं छोड़ सकते, नहीं छूट रहा. The same situation is Arjuna in right now. He is lamenting, although he is with Krishna, but he is lamenting things which are not worth lamenting. And see, he is giving up his Gandiva. Now, lamentation can take you to any extent, including suicide. We are struggling hard to send our children to so-called IITs and IIMs. Do you know how many suicides happen there? Why these best children of the society commit suicide? Due to lamentation. So therefore, mind needs to be controlled. Otherwise, some crazy things are going to happen. Is it related to the verse? Not about... It is about the next verse, no? The next verse पहले पढ़ लेते हैं. Previous verse, ठीक है. Mike, take the mic, take the mic.
The soft heartedness characteristic of pure devotees of the Lord. वो यहाँ पे लिखा है। जैसे मतलब डिवोटी सॉफ्ट हार्टेड होते हैं, जैसे हम लोग उनको किसी को पर हम लोग वो भी देखते हैं, जैसे हम रास्ते में जाते हैं, कोई बेगिंग करते हैं, तो उस टाइम पे हम लोग दूसरा थॉट वो आता है कि जब उनको पैसे दिया तो वो किस मिसयूज करेंगे तो उसका कर्मा हमें लगेगा। अब जहाँ पे यहाँ पे लिखा है कि मतलब हम पैसे देते हैं क्योंकि हम सॉफ्ट, मतलब हमें दया आती है तो पैसे देते हैं, तो हमें क्या सोचना चाहिए, मतलब उनको देना चाहिए कि नहीं देना चाहिए, कर्मा भी लगेगा, नहीं दिया मतलब कंटिन्यूअस हमने नहीं दिया तो वो भी मतलब हम
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that as long as one has desire to control and enjoy Lakshmi, they should keep donating. They should not be so much worried about karma, क्योंकि उससे बुरा कर्मा तो हमको already मिल रहा है. So therefore, in one article, he has made it mandatory for grihasthas to always keep donating. Don't worry so much about karma. Whoever comes, donate. Of course, if you can give donation to Krishna, that is the best donation. But to keep the heart soft and to stay away from desires of material enjoyment and material comfort, in order to not become hard-hearted, those who are earning money, they should keep donating, even to beggars. Dena chahiye. If you are a very strict person, ki I will not give to beggars, Prabhupada told 50%, so 50% I will donate to Krishna. Then you give prasadam to the beggars. बाहर निकलते हैं तो हमेशा लेके चलिए.
रोड पे जो भी आते मोस्टली पैसे मांग लो, खाना तो है हमारे पास, कपड़े के लिए पैसे दे दो.
One should give. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells to give. Yen ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Go and talk to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Liars are there, but I am also liar, no? I am also cheater, I am also liar, I am also sense gratifier, I also want to control my Lakshmi. So how will I get rid of this tendency until I give it away? Now if I start seeing who is qualified to get my Lakshmi, nobody is qualified other than me and my children. So therefore I will not give to beggar also, I will not give to ISKCON also, I will not give to Janmashtami also, I will not give to Radhashtami. ISKCON ko bhi I will not give. This tendency is the problem. So to get rid of this tendency, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, donate. Anybody who comes on your door, you give. You give. Grihastha cannot say no to anybody. Even if a snake comes and says, give me, you have to give. Because the snake has come. Now snake doesn't mean this snake, a person snake. Yes, related to the verse, you can ask later. If it is not related to the verse, please, let's strictly... These lectures are being recorded over domestic violence को cut कीजिएगा please. नहीं तो लोग बोलेंगे ये भक्ति शास्त्री में इन लोग divorce discuss कर रहे हैं. It was a good discussion, but not relevant to the subject. Verse number 30. न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, the killer of the Keshi demon. Now you see the names which Arjuna is using here. Keshava, killer of Keshi demon. Keshava has many meanings. You can find out for homework. 2 meanings I know. One who has very beautiful hair, Keshava. And one who is the killer of Keshi demon, Keshava. So Arjuna is taunting Krishna now that you are Keshava, you have killed demons, but you are asking me to kill my own family members. You go and kill your family, no? You are Keshava, but you are asking me to kill my family. That is one way to say. Also, I am forgetting myself. That means what I am supposed to do, what I am not supposed to do, that also I am forgetting. And viparitani nimittani. Opposite result is coming. I am fighting this battle to gain a kingdom because I want to be happy, but I see that by fighting this war, I will become the most unhappy person. Viparitani nimittani. Nimitta means result. Please read the purport.
Due to his impatience, Arjuna was unable to stay on the battlefield, and he was forgetting himself on account of this weakness of his mind. Excessive attachment for material things puts a man in such bewildering condition of existence.
So whenever I am bewildered, whenever I am very shaknomi avasthutam brahmati va chame manaha, when I am being bewildered, I am forgetting myself. That means it is due to, what is it due to? Sorry? Excessive attachment to Krishna. Correct? Excessive attachment for material things puts a man, not woman, only a man. Man here means man and woman both. So excessive attachment for material things puts a man in such bewildering condition for existence. Bhayam dvitiya bhinivesha tah syat. Very beautiful verse. Bhayam dvitiya. Bhayam means fear, dvitiya means separate or second or another. Abhiniveshatah syat. Whenever I see something separate from Krishna, whenever I am able to see or perceive or think of something which is not related to Krishna, that is the source of all bhaya or fear. Bhayam dvitiya bhiniveshatah syat. For example, think of something which you are afraid of. And you will carefully take note that in that situation, you are not able to link that situation to Krishna. You are not able to feel that this situation has come by the will of Krishna. You are not able to see Krishna in that situation. That is why you are afraid. Correct, no? But if you are able to see Krishna's hand in every situation, will you be afraid? So, bhayam dvitiya, when you start seeing things separate from Krishna, that is the source of all bhaya. So this situation, Arjuna is not able to understand that it has happened by the will of Krishna. This war is by the will of Krishna, and he is getting materially attached. Pitran, Pautran, Swashuran, Bandhavan, all those. Khatam.
With that case, if you think something stupid and related to Krishna, even that should not be the case. Like, I'll go drive 500 kilometers from here, and then Krishna is with me. I'll not die. I'll not meet an accident. This is stupidity. You cannot connect anything to the Krishna.
So thinking of Krishna means to do the right thing. Why will you drive at 500 km per hour?
You cannot connect anything to Krishna.
That is stupidity. See, if you are not able to connect it to Krishna, why are you thinking it?
Like it is stupidity. That's
Tatatam smartavyam vishnum vismartavyam na jatu chit. That has to be done. If you are not doing it and you are saying there is no connection with Krishna, so this is stupidity. Yes, why you are doing that stupidity?
One thing, you cannot connect everything to Krishna.
For example?
Well, like I said, you think something bewildered, something unnecessary, and you said, no, Krishna will help me in all the situations. You go jump from the cliff.
That is stupidity. Yeah. So this situation should not come, no? This situation should not.
No problem.
No. You understand the problem with this argument. This is not a valid argument. We are saying in any situation, we should, if we are able to see the hand of Krishna. For example, now I have got a desire to drink intoxicant. And I am drinking also. Now, how will I see the hand of Krishna in this?
There is no possibility.
Hand of Krishna means Krishna does not want me to do this, so I should not do it. But I am doing it, so therefore bhaya will come. Because of being intoxicated, I'll go and beat up someone, I'll kill someone, I'll loot someone, I'll perform some other sinful activities. Then I'll be put in jail, therefore bhaya. So Krishna consciousness means no sinful activities first. First, we all have to agree to this common foundation that no sinful activities. Then only Krishna consciousness is possible. Then you have to see the hand of Krishna in everything. If I am performing something sinful, and then I am saying I am engaging in prostitution, but I am not able to see the hand of Krishna in it. Kaise hand of Krishna? आप जेल में जा चुके हैं, मर्डर हो गया है. Now the only thing which you can do is repent. And repentance, only great souls while repenting can think of Krishna. Otherwise, most of them are bewildered by the laws of nature. और एक बार पाप किया है, दूसरे बार पाप करने की इच्छा होती है. That is the samskara cycle. So seeing the hand of Krishna is possible only in sinless environment, in a sober environment, not in an intoxicated mood or in an egoistic mood. How you will see this? Two people are having ego clash. How they will see the hand of Krishna in that situation? Until they give up the ego. So therefore one will be afraid of his ego. मैंने उसको ऐसा गाली दे दिया. Now he will also come up with some newspaper article against me. This is bhaya. Are you able to understand? Bhaya dvitiya abhiniveshatah syat. Whenever my interests become separate from the interest of Krishna, that will lead to bhaya. So the solution is, make your interest the same interest as that of Krishna. Krishna does not want me to have an egoistic battle, so I will stop it. Then the bhaya will go away. It's not that I'm continuing the egoistic situation and still I want nirbhaya. वैसा तो होगा नहीं ना.
कोबरा देखते तो भय होना चाहिए सामने को. तो आएगा ही नहीं. इस सिचुएशन में क्या करना है?
आपको डर के भाग जाना चाहिए. या फिर फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट को कॉल कर देना चाहिए. या फिर अगर आप प्योर डिवोटी हैं तो आपको यह समझना चाहिए कि काल रूपी सर्प के डसे जाने से अच्छा है कि ये सर्प के काटने से मैं मर जाऊं. मैं अभी भगवान की सेवा कर रही हूं. अगर ये सांप काटेगा तो भगवत धाम में भी सेवा करूंगी. अगर उस लेवल का कॉन्शियसनेस है तो क्यों भागोगे फिर? बट वैसा कॉन्शियसनेस नहीं है, प्योर डिवोटी नहीं है, तो भागी जाना चाहिए. फिर जान बची तो करोड़ों पाए. So it depends upon the consciousness. That is why pure devotees like Prahlad, they were not afraid when they were thrown in a well full of snakes. But if I am thrown, I will be very afraid. And I cannot imitate Prahlad Maharaj, no. I'll put my hand in the mouth of a cobra. The cobra knows the Paramatma in the heart of the cobra and the Paramatma in my heart, they are the same Paramatma. Now I want sense gratification. Paramatma will tell, bite karo isko. Then I should run away. But if I am a pure devotee at heart, then Paramatma will tell, just like Haridas Thakur. He was living in a cave along with a big python. And people who used to come to meet Haridas Thakur, they were like, आप थोड़ा एक हट बना लीजिए, हम 1 BHK देते हैं वहाँ ये. Haridas Thakur was not bothered because he knew that the snake cannot harm him because he's serving the Lord. And the Lord will take care. That kind of dependence on the Lord was there. But when Haridas Thakur started realizing that other devotees are getting affected because they want to come and meet me, they are afraid of the snake, so he decided to move out of the cave. He just thought in his mind. And as soon as Haridas Thakur thought this, immediately the snake slithered out. This is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Prabhupada writes, Krishna wanted that, why should my devotee take the trouble? Let the snake find another residence. Because the snake is not involved in preaching. So question, cobra देखें तो डर के भागें कि नहीं? Depends on your advancement in Krishna consciousness. Depends on your state of consciousness. If I am a neophyte, I should act accordingly. If I am a Mahabhagavat, I should act accordingly. One should not imitate. If I am really able to see the hand of Krishna in that snake, if I am able to see Krishna, here is Krishna coming to me in the form of death. Let me chant Hare Krishna and die. तो फिर मत भागिए. बट अगर ऐसा नहीं है और सोच रहे हैं PF विड्रॉ नहीं किया, अभी काट लेगा तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. Then you have to run away.
The most advanced devotee should run away. Why would you stay there?
Parikshit didn't run away. He let Takshaka burn his body because he has attained perfection. Dharma is very subtle. You cannot decide what is black and white just by seeing one example. Prahlad didn't run away. Parikshit didn't run away. However, when Prabhupada saw a snake, he called Jayapataka Maharaj. There is an incident in Lilamrit mentioned that Prabhupada went to the toilet and inside the toilet, Mayapur snake was sitting. So Prabhupada stopped the snake through the door and he was calling his disciples. And his disciple came and killed the snake. And Prahlad Maharaj, who didn't bother against the snakes in the well of Hiranyakashipu, the same Prahlad in his prayers to Narsingadev says that just like all saintly people become happy when snakes are killed, similarly the whole world has become happy when Hiranyakashipu has been killed. Why saintly people become happy when snakes are killed? Because snakes are envious people. So when envious people are chastised, when their envy is subdued, like Kalia's envy subdued, saintly people become happy. So from Prahlad's example also we see two contradicting things. He is not bothered by those snakes, but at the same time he is telling saintly people become happy. So one has to understand that it takes a lot of time to understand what is dharma. Simply saying ये इसने एक सांप को मार दिया, ये भगवत धाम नहीं जाएगा, that is not a good statement. Saintly people become happy when snakes are killed. Therefore, Prabhupada used to take a lot of happiness in killing the Mayavadis or subduing the Mayavadis and the Visheshvadis. He used to argue with them like anything because he used to think they are snakes. So spiritual reality means you have to see all the angles. You can't just see one angle and decide this is right and this is wrong. And even after seeing all angles, you should know that all angles I have not seen. So therefore, I should be humble with respect to my opinion. Yes.
Prahlad Maharaj didn't run away or couldn't run away. He was in a well surrounded by snakes.
He could have called out to Lord Vishnu, but he didn't choose to do that. He didn't call out. He just went through whatever Krishna was putting him. He could have told his mother, kuch karo. He could have bribed the guards. So many things were possible. He didn't try. In a pit full of snakes, it was told, not a well. A pit kya tha, we don't know. Whether he could run away or not, he could run away. I feel he could run away because he knew what is going to happen. He could have run away by surrendering to his father. I will sarvam etadritam manye. Whatever you say, I will follow from today. But he didn't do all that. However, he only says to Narsingadev that saintly people become happy when snakes are killed. So these are two spiritual realities. Verse number 30, purport, please. Such fearfulness and loss of mental equilibrium takes place in persons who are affected by material conditions. Arjuna envisioned only painful reverses in the battlefield. He would not be happy even by gaining victory over the foe. The word nimitani viparitani are significant. When a man sees only frustration in his expectation, he thinks, why am I here? Like many of you are thinking. Why am I here in this Bhakti Shastri class? Everyone is interested in himself or his own welfare. No one is interested in Supreme Self. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his self-interest by Krishna's will, again and again highlighting. Arjuna का कोई personal problem नहीं था life में. One's real self-interest lies in Vishnu or Krishna. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. That verse is being quoted here. The conditioned soul forgets this and then suffers material pains. Arjuna thought his victory in the battle would only be a cause of lamentation for him. Verse number 31. Nacha shreyo anupashyami hatva svajanamahave na kankshe vijayam Krishna nacha rajyam sukhani cha. I do not see any good. How any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle? Nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. Read the
Purport. Without knowing that one's self-interest is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned souls are attracted by bodily relationships, hoping to be happy in such situations. Under delusion, they forget that Krishna is also the cause of material happiness. Arjuna appears to have even forgotten the moral codes for a Kshatriya. It is said that two kinds of men, namely the Kshatriya, who dies directly in front of the battlefield under Krishna's personal orders, and the person in the renounced order of life who is absolutely devoted to spiritual culture, are eligible to enter into the sun globe.
So this Prabhupada is not saying on his own. This is coming from Parashara Smriti. This verse I have found out where it is said. It says, Dva vimau purusho loke. In the 15th chapter, one verse also starts like this. Dva vimau purusho loke. Kshara chakshara evacha. But this is not that verse. Dva vimau purusho loke surya mandala bhedinau parin parivrad yoga yuktascha rane chabhi mukhe hatah. Two kinds of deaths are glorified in Parashar Smriti. The sannyasi engaged in yoga and the warrior who dies facing the enemy attain the sun planet. So Arjuna is thinking that if I am going to kill these people, they'll take the arrows on the chest, or they'll face the arrows and they'll go to the sun planet. But I'll be left here to lament. I'm not going to the sun planet. Arjuna is thinking like this. So when I went to the army, I was glorifying this verse. The two kinds of deaths are very nice. Death of a devotee and death of a warrior. All of you are destined for great future, provided you understand Bhagavad-gita. In that way I was linking it. Continue.
Are eligible to enter into the sun globe, which is so powerful and dazzling. Arjuna is reluctant even to kill his enemies, let alone his relatives. He thought that by killing his kinsmen, there would be no happiness in his life, and therefore he was not willing to fight, just as a person who does not feel hunger is not inclined to cook. He has now decided to go into the forest and live a secluded life in frustration. But as a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his subsistence, because the Kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other occupation. But Arjuna has had no kingdom. Arjuna's sole opportunity for gaining a kingdom lay in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do. Therefore, he considers himself fit to go to the forest to live a secluded life of frustration.
So just if you do not do your prescribed duty, does it make you fit to go to the forest? Which means, by avoiding to do your prescribed duty, do you become eligible for renunciation? Not possible. As long as one has material desires, one should continue the path of prescribed duties. And only when the heart is purified by transcendental knowledge and by detachment from doership mentality, then only one can take the path of renunciation. Otherwise, it will be markat vairagya, bhoga tyag concept. Bhoga tyag everybody has experienced. Sometimes when we become sick due to overindulgence, then we decide बहुत हुआ अब ये भोग अब हम त्यागी बनेंगे. So then for 1 week we lead a life of a tyagi. But then as soon as the sickness goes away or a little bit health improves, again where we come back to bhoga. So bhoga tyag. We give up something and then we experience that renunciation for a short time and then we again go back to the bhog. Has this happened to all of us? So Krishna is telling you, ऐसा तुम मत करो यहाँ पर. Just because you don't want to do your prescribed duty doesn't mean that you are qualified for renunciation. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that, my dear Arjuna, Krishna is telling to Arjuna that in a later verse, that you will go to the forest and don't you think that these people will criticize you? Being a Kshatriya, you will not be able to tolerate that. And then these people, in order to further tease you, they will come and put a camp near the place where you are sitting as a mendicant. And then they will tease you and they will say ill words to you. And then you will again become angry and you will pick up the Gandiva and you will kill them. So anyways, you are going to kill them only. Now I am asking you to kill, you are not doing, but out of ego when you will kill later, that will be sin. So better kill now. Because you are not qualified for renunciation. You cannot tolerate apaman, Therefore, you are not qualified for renunciation. So, therefore, you are a Kshatriya, therefore, you need some kingdom to rule, therefore, you should fight. Are you understanding Krishna's statement? सन प्लैनेट का कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आ गया? That if you die in a battlefield or if you die as a Ashtanga yogi, mind fixed up in yoga, you go to the sun planet. And then the analogy given here is just like a person who has no appetite, has no interest in cooking. So similarly, a person who does not want to enjoy three things. Na kangshe vijayam Krishna nacha rajyam sukhancha. What are the three things he does not want? Victory, kingdom, or happiness. A person who does not want these three things, he has no desire to fight. So, from one angle, if you see, the reasoning which Arjuna gives is not some weak reasoning, very strong reasoning. Verse number 32 to 35. Okay, पूछ ही लीजिए, आज ऐसे भी चैप्टर खत्म होने वाला है. माइक के बिना, she has a question.
प्रभु यहाँ पे जैसे है कि मतलब जो बैटल फील्ड में डाई करता है वो सन ग्लोब में जाता है.
ठीक है, सुनाई दे रहा, चलिए. मेन इज फॉर द
और
माइक.
अभी जब कुरुक्षेत्र में जो वॉर हुआ था उसमें तो सब बैटल फील्ड में गए थे और वो टाइम पे कृष्णा भी प्रेजेंट थे.
वो अल्टीमेट कंक्लूजन है, ये जनरल प्रिंसिपल है. पराशर स्मृति से जनरल प्रिंसिपल बताया जा रहा है. दिस इज नॉट वैलिड फॉर कुरुक्षेत्र, दिस इज अ जनरल प्रिंसिपल फॉर ऑल बैटल फील्ड्स. That those who die a brave warrior's death fight following dharma, they go to sun planet. Sun planet is one of the heavenly planets. किसी एक heavenly planet में जाते हैं. Sun planet होगा या. So easiest way to go to Swarga is pick up a fight with someone. इधर गोली मारो and then go to Swarga. No, that will not happen. So become a soldier, yeah. Kim no rajena govinda.
Kim no rajena.
No. I'm stopping because Arjuna is again taunting. He's using the word govinda for Krishna. Govinda means you are supposed to give happiness to senses. You are giving so much distress to my senses. Govinda. So Arjuna is a friend, no? So he talks like that. Kim no rajena govinda kim bhoge jivitena va yeshamarthe kangshitam no rajyam bhoga sukhani cha ta imeva sthita yuddhe pranam styaktva dhanani cha acharyah pitarah putras tathaiva cha pitamaha मातुलः श्वशुरः पौत्राः श्याला संबंधिनस्तथा एतान् न हन्तुमिच्छामि ज्ञतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराजस्य हेतोः किं नु मही कृते निहत्याधार्थराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीति स्यात् जनार्दन. This is the way you have to recite. Then you will be remembering and you will get interest. Vedic literature, when combined with, when music gets inside Vedic literature, the Vedic literature becomes more interesting. This is the statement in one of the places. So therefore, shlokas have various meters. It becomes attractive to the mundane mind when we introduce it with sura and tal. Please, okay. Oh Govinda, what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield? Oh Madhusudana. First is Govinda. Next is Madhusudana. आपने मधु डीमन को मारा है. हमको आप किसको मारने बोल रहे हैं? Teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-laws, grandsons, brother-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties are standing before me. Why should I kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? And then Janardana. Oh, maintainer of all living entities. You're not supposed to plan everybody's killing. You're supposed to maintain everybody. You see the sarcasm going on. O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them even in the exchange of the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will I derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? This is one of the most beautiful purports. Please read the purport.
Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda because Krishna is the object of all pleasures for cows and the senses. By using this significant word, Arjuna indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses. But Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses.
Very important point. I will be happy when my senses are satisfied. And you are Govinda, you are Rishikesho. So you should know and you should satisfy me. I am satisfied only by Urvashi, so you should provide me. No, Govinda doesn't mean that his job description is to satisfy my senses. No. The word Govinda means when I satisfy the senses of Krishna, then my senses become automatically pleased because he is Govinda. This is the meaning of Govinda. Understood? But Arjuna's intention that you are Govinda, so you should Vindanti, you should know my mind and heart, and so therefore you should do something to satisfy me. This is a wrong assumption. This is a wrong misunderstanding. Please continue reading.
If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, however, then automatically our own senses are satisfied. Materially, everyone wants to satisfy his senses, and he wants God to be the order supplier for such satisfaction. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve, but not to the extent that they may covet.
Make this as the WhatsApp status today. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve. How much they deserve? Ye yatha mam prapadyante. The degree to which one surrenders to me, that much they deserve. And not to the extent that they may covet. I am standing in front of Leela Palace and I want this Leela Palace should be mine. Then I'll do my Leela. This is my desire. No. Krishna will never give it to me. But if I try to satisfy Krishna, Krishna may give the whole world to me in 18 days. He did that with the Pandavas. The Pandavas were so surrendered that Krishna is ready to give them the whole world in 18 days. In 18 years, I will not get just one Leela Palace also, because I am not surrendered. So to what I deserve, and deserving means to the degree I surrender to Krishna. Continue.
But when one takes the opposite way, namely, when one tries to satisfy the senses of Govinda without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then by the grace of Govinda, all desires of the living entity are satisfied. Arjuna's deep affection for community and family members is exhibited here partly due to his natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulences to friends and relatives. But Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield and he will be unable to share his opulences after victory.
Point to be noted, opulences are not meant to satisfy the self. They are just meant to show it off to
Friends
who are
and
these others here?
Friends and relatives.
स्वजना अपने लोगों को दिखाने के लिए opulence होता है. This is the harsh, naked reality of material life. Continue.
This is the typical calculation of material life. The transcendental life, however, is different. Since a devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulences for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is not willing, he should not accept a farthing. Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives. And if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna kill them personally.
Yes, Janardana. The statement is, I am not ready to fight here for wealth. Because if I get wealth, anyways, these people will be dead. So whom will I show it off to, or whom will I enjoy it with? So one statement can be that if you will not kill them, they will kill you. And then they will get your kingdom and they will continue adharma. So therefore Arjuna is telling that even if they kill me, I have no desire to attack them. What to speak of this kingdom, Krishna, even if I get the kingdom of all the three worlds? He tells, no, in the translation, I don't desire. But then another argument could be that, but they are adharmic people. You should kill them for the welfare of the society because they are giving so much trouble. And how is it possible to be happy without killing them? At that time, Arjuna is telling that you are Janardana. You have advented here to relieve the burden of the earth. Apna job description mujhe mat dijiye. Janardana means Ardana, one who will kill unnecessary burden. So you are Janardana, you kill, no? Take out your Sudarshan Chakra and kill everybody. Why you are asking me to kill? First of all, you are Govinda. You are not pleasing me. Second, you are Janardana. You are supposed to do, you are asking me to do your job. I am your friend, not your servant. In this mood, Arjuna is talking. Continue reading.
At this point, he did not know that Krishna had already killed them before their coming into the battlefield, and that he was only to become an instrument for Krishna.
Yes, so actually Krishna did his job. He is Janardana. He has planned. He killed unlimited Kshatriyas in the 17 battles with Jarasandha. There are 11 Akshainis here, but in every battle with Jarasandha, 23 Akshainis used to come, double the Mahabharata war. And Krishna and Balram alone used to go and kill 23 Akshainis. Like that, 16 battles had happened. After that, Krishna decided कि अब जितना भी बचा है कुरुक्षेत्र में देख लेंगे. So therefore, all the remaining 11 Akshahinis, they came in Kurukshetra, and Krishna has actually killed everybody of them by their arrangement. And further proof of this will come in the 11th chapter, where he will say, time I am, and I am going to kill all of them who are assembled here, except you, the Pandavas. So Arjuna is thinking, I am going to kill, I have to take the trouble, but actually no, Krishna has done his job as Janardana, Krishna is Achyuta as Govinda. He is not coming down from his position of Govinda. So all this is happening because of misunderstanding of dharma, basically. Misunderstanding of self-interest, which is Vishnu. Continue reading.
This, this fact is disclosed in following chapters. As a natural devotee of the Lord, Arjuna did not like to retaliate against his miscreant cousins and brothers. But it was the Lord's plan that they should all be killed. The devotee of the Lord does not retaliate against the wrongdoer, but the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done to the devotee by the miscreants. The Lord can excuse a person on his own count, but he excuses no one who has done harm to his devotees. Therefore, the Lord was determined to kill the miscreants, although Arjuna wanted to excuse them.
So, the second last line, or the last line, second last line, the Lord can excuse a person on his account, but he excuses no one who has done harm to his devotees. We should be very afraid of Vaishnava Aparadha. Never disturb or harm or offend the devotees of the Lord. Vishnu Aparadha, Vishnu will forget and forgive if you apologize. But Vaishnava Aparadha, even if you apologize, Vishnu cannot do anything. So therefore, we should be very careful of Vaishnava Aparadha. Arjuna wanted to excuse them, Yudhishthir wanted to excuse them, but Krishna was not ready. Now you see, the reasons which Arjuna is giving the 5 reasons which I told you earlier. What were the 5 reasons? First one was no desire for kingdom. That is over. Next desire was that first was compassion. Okay. Second was no enjoyment. That is over. Third is that we are starting verse number 36. And how this all arguments are actually Prabhupada in these purports only he is proving how these reasoning are wrong, and later on Krishna will say how it is wrong in the second chapter. So Prabhupada is speaking before Krishna what Krishna will speak. Text 36. Papam evashrayedasman hatvaitanatadayinah tasman naraha vayam hantum धार्तराष्ट्रान् सबन्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिनः श्याममाधवः. Again two names, Shyama and Madhava. Madhava means goddess of husband of the goddess of fortune, prosperity, Vaibhav. Why are you asking me to do those things which are against Vaibhava and prosperity? खुद के लोगों को मरवा रहे हैं आप मुझसे. And Shyama means dark. Why are you asking me? Why are you giving me dark advice? So these are the. You see the first line of this verse. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Aggressor को slay करने में sin होता है क्या? Don't talk in terms of present day constitution. According to Manusmriti or according to Vedic culture, if an aggressor, that means he should be slayed. You see this line, sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. A Kshatriya is speaking, contradictory. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, the husband of the goddess of fortune, and how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? Purport, please.
According to Vedic injunctions,
Vedic injunction means it is Vasishtha Smriti. Vasishtha Smriti and Manu Smriti gives the 6 aggressors. And that is the Vedic injunction. And according to them, there is no sin incurred by killing these 6 types of aggressors. Who are these Atatainas or 6 kinds of aggressors? Please read.
First, a poison giver. Second, who was set fire to the house. Third, one who attacked with deadly weapon. Fourth, one who plunders riches.
Means kind of a thief.
One who occupy another's land. 6, one who kidnaps wife. Such aggressors are at once to be killed, and no sin is incurred by killing such aggressors.
So, point to be noted earlier, the Shruti Shastras were saying, Ma himsayat sarva bhutani. Do not afflict any living entity with violence. But the same Smriti Shastras are saying that such aggressors should be immediately killed. So, where to apply which rule? For that you need Guru. You need guidance of Shastra. But over the Shastra, you need the guidance of Guru. You cannot say, Ma himsayat sarva bhutani. You cannot make this as the formula of your life. No. When you see an aggressor, you who is practicing Ma himsayat sarva bhutani, you should kill. So, Ma himsayat sarva bhutani is a statement from the Artha Shastra. And Artha Shastrat tu balavad dharma shastram iti sthitihi. Killing of aggressors is coming from Dharma Shastra. So, in all circumstances, Dharma Shastras are greater than Artha Shastra. This is coming from Yajnavalkya Smriti. Therefore, killing Bhishma and others who are worthy of worship is Artha Shastra. And Dharma Shastra means kill them. Or no, one second. Killing Bhishma and others worthy of worship on the strength of the weaker Artha Shastra is certainly a cause of sin. In this verse, Arjuna concludes his statement, which is stated, Nacha Shreyo Anupashyami, verse 31. Therefore, because of the commission of sin, also because we cannot even achieve physical happiness in this life, we should not kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and other relatives. Our enjoying the kingdom without our elders and friends meant bringing happiness will actually bring sorrow. O Madhava, husband of auspiciousness, Lakshmi, why do you instigate this war devoid of auspiciousness? Summary, Arjuna is giving citations from Artha Shastra and Dharma Shastra. But higher than Artha Shastra and Dharma Shastra is the will of Krishna. This is the summary. All the 5 reasons which Arjuna is giving, they are coming from Artha Shastra and Dharma Shastra. Amongst the Artha Shastra and Dharma Shastra is superior to Artha Shastra. But even higher to all of them is the will of Krishna. This is the summary. Now continue reading the purport.
Such killing of aggressor is quite befitting any ordinary man. But Arjuna was not an ordinary person. He was saintly by character, and therefore he wanted to deal with them in saintlessness. This kind of saintliness, however, is not for a Kshatriya. Although a responsible man in administration of a state is required to be saintly, he should not be cowardly. For example, Lord Ram was so saintly that people even now are anxious to live in the kingdom of Lord Ram Rajya. But Lord Ram never showed any cowardice. Ravana was an aggressor against Rama because Ravana kidnapped Rama's wife Sita, but Lord Ram gave him sufficient lesson, unparalleled in the history of the world. In Arjuna's case, however, one should consider the special type of aggressors, namely his own grandfather, own teacher, friend, son, grandson, etc. Because of them, Arjuna thought that he should not take the serious step necessary against ordinary aggressors. Besides that, saintly persons are advised to forgive. Such injunctions for saintly persons are more important than any political emergency. Arjuna considered that rather than killing his own kinsman for political reason, it would be
Political reason means Artha Shastra. Srila Prabhupada puts complex things in very simple words. Politics and sociology is Artha Shastra. The above statement, which Arjuna is giving, is according to Artha Shastra. And Dharma Shastra means religion and saintly behavior. So, Artha Shastra says, which is inferior to Dharma Shastra, says, Ma himsayat sarva bhutan. According to politics and sociology, one should not afflict any living entity. So, by this reason, Arjuna is telling that we should not kill Bhishma. It is killing him will be a sin. Also, Arjuna wanted to follow saintly behavior and forgive them, telling that these kingdoms, nacha rajyam sukhani cha, all that which will come is anyways temporary. And this act which I am doing is very inauspicious. So, Arjuna knows Artha Shastra, Arjuna knows Dharma Shastra. He knows that when there is a conflict between Artha Shastra and Dharma Shastra prevails over Artha Shastra. All this he knows. But he does not know that the supreme Shastra is Krishna Shastra. Whatever Krishna has to say, that is Dharma. Yudhishthira cannot decide whether he has to lie or not. If Krishna says you have to lie, means the Dharma is to lie. And because Yudhishthira hesitated to follow the will of Krishna, therefore he had to suffer. So again and again, this is being highlighted that whatever Krishna wants, that is Dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Continue reading.
It would be better to forgive them on grounds of religion and saintly behavior.
That is Dharma Shastra.
He did not therefore consider such killing profitable simply for the matter of temporary bodily happiness. After all, kingdom and pleasure derived their form are not permanent. So why should he risk his life and eternal salvation by killing his own kinsman? Arjuna addressing of Krishna as Madhava or the husband of goddess of fortune is also significant in this connection. He wanted to point out to Krishna that as the husband of goddess of fortune, he should not induce Arjuna to take up a matter which would ultimately bring about misfortune. King Krishna, however, never bring misfortune to anyone, to say nothing to his devotee.
So he's not understanding Krishna. He's telling, my dear Lord, your obligation is to bring fortune to me, but you're asking me to kill my relatives, so you're bringing misfortune. But he does not know that misfortune and Krishna don't exist together. If Krishna is involved, it may appear like unfortunate, but ultimately it is fortunate. Bas samajh ka fair hai. I'm not able to understand it. Two more verses we will cover today and then we'll stop. Fourth reason, which is harmful effects of destroying family, harmful effect of killing the elders, problem of mixture of castes, problem of mixing of men and women, all that we will discuss, which is the fourth reason in the next class. So 6 verses we will cover next class. 2 more verses, that is verses 37, 38 we will finish. If you people are interested, I can continue, but then the question comes.
There's an OTP plan.
Okay, so you can carry on. Thank you. I will stop in the next 5 minutes. If you can. Okay, you carry on. Carry on. No problem. I'm stopping anyways. 37, 38. No purport also. यदि यद्यप्येते न पश्यन्ति लोभोपहत चेतसः कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकं कथं न ज्ञेनमस्माभिः पापादस्मान् निवर्तितुं कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं प्रपश्याद्भिर्जनार्दन. Dosham, killing family, kulakshaya, quarreling with friends, that is mitra droha. And why they are, even if their hearts are overtaken by lobha pahata chetasaha, even if the hearts are taken away by greed, why should we who see the crime in destroying family engage in such ghastly warfare? So, O Janardha, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with good friends, why should we, who see the crime in destroying a family, kulakshaya, engage in these acts of sin? So, next question is, how is killing family an act of sin? Then he will say, kulakshaya pranashyanti kula dharma sanatana dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharmo bhivavatyota. इससे क्या होगा? अधर्माद भैव कृष्णा प्रदुष्यंति कुलस्त्रियः. The family women will be destroyed and all that he gives later on. That we'll discuss later. Just we'll read this purport and disperse for the day. Purport 37, 38. Akshatriya. A Kshatriya is not supposed to refuse to battle or gamble when he is so invited by some rival parties. Under such an obligation, Arjuna could not refuse to fight because he had been challenged by the party of Duryodhana. In this connection. So, what reason is Arjuna giving? As a Kshatriya, he is not supposed to say no to fight. But on what basis he is saying no? Lobho pahata chetasaha. He is telling this is not a proper fight because their hearts have been overtaken by greed. So, therefore, I can choose not to fight. You see how consciously Arjuna is trying to not do what Krishna wants him to do. Continue. In this connection, Arjuna considered that the other party might be blind to the effects of such a challenge. Arjuna, however, could see the evil consequences and could not accept the challenge. Obligation is actually binding when the effect is good, but when the effect is otherwise, then no one can be bound. So here Artha Shastra means when a Kshatriya is challenged, Politically, socially, he cannot say no. But Dharma Shastra means when the effect of that challenge is not good, then Artha Shastra is not valid. That's what it is being told. Obligation is actually binding when the effect is good. My obligation to fight is binding upon me when the effect of the battle is good. But when the effect is otherwise, Madhava, you are bringing inauspiciousness by asking me to fight. Sorry, Madhava is the word or Janardana? Janardana. Janardana, yeah. So then I am not bound by these lower rules because Dharma Shastra is higher than Artha Shastra. Arjuna is showing that I am very nicely educated. So considering all these pros and cons, Arjuna decided not to fight. Okay, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.